May the words of my mouth and the meditation of our hearts be pleasing to you, O Lord, my rock and my redeemer. So our readings today are so very rich, but I think I want to tease out one thing that really stands out to me in today's readings. Jesus sees our humanity. He understands our humanity. He sees and understands our humanity because he was human like us. He dwelt with us. He came among us. He was one of us. And I think the readings today really show that not only does Jesus see and understand our humanity, he knows that it is often our humanity that brings about our shortcomings. And because of that, he is so tremendously forgiving, so understanding of our humanity. Look at Peter's denial. Jesus told Peter that he was going to deny him, that his human response to the fear and anxiousness was that he would experience and feel would lead him to deny him. Jesus saw and understood that Peter's humanity faced with what was happening would lead Peter to deny him. He knew Peter and he knew Peter's humanity. And when Peter recognized that Jesus knew him better than he even knew himself, he wept, knowing that in his heart that Jesus knew him, and that Jesus was truly the one that he thought him to be. Jesus' humanity was what helped him to know Peter so well, so thoroughly, and to know what Peter's response would be. Look at Jesus while on the cross. Jesus did not pray for himself. He prayed for those who were putting him to death. He says, "Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing." It's Jesus' humanity that helped him to understand and to know how the hosannas went to crucify him. Within such a short time, Jesus' humanity helped him to understand and to pray not for himself, but for those who had put him on the cross. And while on the cross, we hear Jesus assuring the thief, "Today you will be with me in paradise." Jesus understood the humanity, the longing of the thief next to him, who was experiencing the same trauma, the same pain that he was enduring. Yet he reassured him, "You will be with me in paradise." Yes, Jesus knows us, and he knows our humanity too. He knows us better than we know ourselves, just like Peter. Therefore, Jesus is always willing to forgive us. He's always ready to forgive us for our humanity, for being human. When we go along with the crowd, when we deny or ignore him, when he's right in front of us, in the person or the face of the marginalized, or someone in need, or someone we might not understand or fear. When we fall asleep, like the disciples did, when he needs us to be awake and alert, when he needs us to be present for him. So today we hear the story about the hosannas becoming calls to crucify him. And we remember what Jesus taught us between these bookends of his entry into Jerusalem and his death on the cross. I encourage you to welcome the invitation that this Holy Week presents to us, to experience the humanity of Jesus during these days, and through it, to get to know Jesus and his humanity better. be welcome at the table on Thursday, where he will give us his most fervent plea and synopsis of what he wants us to remember. Be welcome at the foot of the cross on Friday, when he shows us the depth of his love, the depth of his understanding of our humanity, and the breadth and depth of his forgiveness. Be aware on Saturday, knowing that those closest to him were frightened and fearful of what might now happen to them, disappointed that their hope in him was dashed, doubting that perhaps he hadn't been who they thought he had been. So welcome the invitation to Holy Week, and it will make your arrival on Sunday more profound, more joyful, more penetrating through your entire being.